Hello, folks. I greet you one more time. Time for our flagship show, Homo Politicus. What we do is simple. Like the friendly octopus, we claw at anything thrown up by my country, your country. Today, Edo State Governor Okpebholo hits the ground screeching, sets up panel to probe predecessor in office. I hope you got that right. Now, you know the good old English idiom, to hit the ground running, simply means to begin a new activity with enthusiasm and energy and to be fully committed. But for the new Edo State helmsman, Monday Okpebholo of the All Progressives Congress APC, it is hitting the ground screeching. That is to make a loud, harsh, squealing noise. For the businessman politician, probing his precursor in office, Godwin Obaseki, is the way to go. The incumbent, who assumed the saddle on November 12, 2024, has appointed a 14-man panel to probe Obaseki. The State Assets Verification Committee would be inaugurated on Tuesday, November 26, and is ostensibly to set the state on the path of development and accountable leadership. Now, to Mr. Governor, our time-honored caution is this. The essence of statesmanship is not a rigid adherence to the past, but a prudent and probing concern for the future. Now, the immortal words of former U.S. Vice President Hubert Humphrey, that's what I just cited. After all, we have been there many times before. I'm talking about probes. You know, a leader takes a people where they want to go. A great leader takes a people where they necessarily won't want to go, but ought to be. These are words on marble credited to former American First Lady Rosalynn Carter. I'm sure you remember her. So, is it too early in the day for our dear Edo State Governor, Monday Okpebholo, to screech? Or is it the way of politicians given to histrionics and so on? We'll find out. Let's tear the bag open. But my discussants, you already know them. The breezy Cyril Abaku is here. Cyril Abaku remains a broadcaster and communications expert. Cyril,
yes,
we welcome you one more time.
it's a pleasure.
Cyril is joined by the unputdownable Emeka Madunagu. Emeka, journalist, political commentator. Emeka, welcome.
Yeah, it's my great pleasure to be here.
Gentlemen, we are familiar with the fair.
We are. It's
Okay.
not new. Yes. We recall that, if anything, the presidency of Muhammad Buhari ended up harvesting the wind after its wild goose chase of so-called corruption under President Goodluck Jonathan's administration. It came to nothing because there was nothing to pursue. If anything, a man like Governor Obaseki wasn't exactly an underperformer as a governor. He was not. He may not have been the best governor.
Yeah, but he may have made mistakes, a few mistakes here and there.
I was going there.
Okay,
I was going
all right.
there. He may not even have been the best governor of his generation.
Okay.
But he was a name that mattered. He had a voice and a face that we reckoned with. So, but that doesn't mean that if there are material...
See, for me, that he started out as an APC member, defected, and it's the way of politicians.
Especially in Nigeria, and by the record, his was even a very good one. There are those who go
comparatively.
Most definitely.
Oh, really?
There are those who go from APC to PDP, back to APC, then to PDP, and so on. So for them,
you remind me of former President Atiku.
There are many, former Vice President. There are so many of them.
President.
For them, they say all politics is local and that the party is only vehicle for accessing power. But back to the matter on the table, which for me, again, like I said, Obaseki is quite a man in his own right. But it doesn't mean that if he's liable or culpable of any wrongdoing, the law shouldn't take its course.
Yeah.
The law should take its course. But I just feel that a government coming into office this early and starting out trying to probe, you see, because in 8 years, a man finds a way to entrench himself in the system.
Yeah.
And so there is a way you pursue, you go after a so-called anti-corruption campaign at the expense of critical governance. You wind up hitting the wind. The reason is simple. In MDAs, in many places, he should have considerable loyalty and following, even if he just left office. So how do you hope to? I think that what a governor should do first of all when he comes to office is to assert himself, lay out his program. Current Governor Okpebholo, I think he laid out was a 5-point agenda, you know. So, and then let's see how you want to pursue it. Tell us that in the next 5 years, you're going to be recruiting 100,000 teachers.
Essentially, chart a course.
Chart your course.
Follow the course.
And then, you see, the simple thing to do is this. Now, Kano State has a similar agency. Why not propose a law or a bill that establishes what looks like an anti-corruption agency for the state, so that while they do that
you
work,
have mentioned Kano State and reminds me of the Game of Thrones, which was
But over and above that, I think it was even under Ganduje that agency was created. It is like because of course the EFCC today is in the eye of the storm. People are asking over and above the way and manner in which it was set up. There is no law that said that function was exclusively that of the
EFCC.
The EFCC.
Yeah.
Because, and apart from the police, it is the Attorney General of government at any level that must deal with this issue. So
essentially, anti-corruption crusade requires every hand on deck.
It does. Now, this is not. I'm not suggesting an alternative that Governor Okpebholo should have followed. I'm only laying out the cards on the table of possibilities, so that he does not get distracted from the substantive question of governance. Edo State isn't where it ought to be. By sheer history and by reckoning, Edo ought to be. Like, I mean, I've said that Edo is Nigeria's Vatican of culture.
It has an interesting.
But how much?
Edo has an interesting pseudonym. But, the heartbeat of Nigeria.
But how often do they drop us to go and check, feel that pulse of the nation? It is because there's no investment in that regard. Yes. So the burden of responsibility of transforming Edo State into the glory it was originally meant to have. It is not something you achieve by being distracted. So I feel that Okpebholo should have come into office and immediately hit the ground running. This is my own opinion.
All right, Emeka, indulge me a little. They say if you know tomato is a fruit, that is knowledge. But if you know that in preparing a fruit salad, you don't add tomato, that's wisdom. Yeah. So knowledge and wisdom are two different things. Yeah. When you take it to leadership, I don't know if we understand what, that's going by what Cyril said.
Yeah. Knowledge should actually tell Okpebholo that he's just on a wild goose chase. The Supreme Court on January 31, 2002, actually, gave a landmark decision where, in the case of Ibrahim Babangida versus the federal government of Nigeria, as pertained to the Oputa panel, where he said that the Tribunals of Inquiry Act cannot replace the functions of regular courts. That was a landmark decision by the Supreme Court.
And also know that the late Oputa panel was not backed by law.
By law. So, definitely, your Tribunal of Inquiry is just a wild goose chase. It's just to settle some boys, some idle people, give them money. They will earn certain allowances now. They will drink coffee.
Are you surprised Omokri is on the list?
Reno Omokri? Oh, it's a big joke. Is he from Edo State?
Because you have said job for the...
but let him come now. Let him come and sit on the panel.
Omokri is from Taraba, Adamawa State. I'm wondering what...
Omokri is from Delta State now.
Okay, sorry.
His father is a Robo. I think his mother is a Shekiri.
So he's a crossbreed.
That's just a joke. I think the governor is just like... See, this whole thing came out from the handover committee set up by the APC, which was headed by former Deputy Governor Pius Udubu. He was deputy to Adams Oshomole. And we know that Obaseki and Oshomole are sworn enemies. They fell out when Obaseki was in his first term. Now, who actually helped to pour petrol into it was Nyesom Wike, who was governor of Rivers State. Now, Nyesom Wike and Oshomole are friends. You see, that's the nature of politics. That's the nature of politics. That's why you should never...
Emeka, but they say in politics that there are no permanent friendship or permanent enmity.
But permanent interest. So the interest now, the wind has blown in the direction of which can still blow again and make Oshomole and Wike enemies and make Oshomole and Obaseki friends. That's why I tell people, don't break your head for politicians, because it's all about interest.
politicians always forget that, yes, you cannot control the direction of the wind, but you can steer the direction of the canoe or the
Very
ship.
simple. Obaseki was APC. Don't forget, Obaseki from 1999 was AD. He and his brother were on Tinubu's think tank as governor of Lagos State. Don't forget, these are Tinubu men. No? These have been Tinubu men.
Or as they say, boys.
Well, I just tried to at least give them that.
Okay.
You know. So now, these people have been Tinubu's people along the line for political interests. You know, Obaseki still followed Tinubu to APC. Okay, along the line, Obaseki, for sake of survival, he moved to PDP. But guess what? Even in PDP, Obaseki still gave the best part of the porridge to APC people, like Osarode Ogie and others. He gave them the best part of the porridge. And then that forced people like Chief Dan Obi, South Vice Chairman, National Vice Chairman of PDP, to get angry and now move to the side of President Tinubu. Can you imagine? Just like what Wike is doing. You are in PDP, but you are working for President Tinubu of APC. It's the same thing Obi did. It's the same thing Ogbede Ihama did. You know? So, Tinubu now gave him a very juicy appointment.
Yeah.
And he helped Okpebholo to come in. But don't forget, Obaseki, even as we speak, is still APC, you know, in total and in totality. So, I won't be surprised if Obaseki returns to APC any moment from now. I won't be surprised.
Or
So,
the cynics will say, if he returns home.
or home now. And after all, his presence on Shomole said was captured on video saying that once you move into APC, all your sins are forgiven. So the simple thing is that, well, like I said, it's just to help some people, you know, make una hold this one first. You know, make una hold this one first till we find somewhere. No, till we find somewhere. No, Odubu, you know, the former deputy governor, actually said that he should be probed, Obaseki should be probed, that he left nothing in the state coffers. But he left nothing in the state coffers, but within a week of being inaugurated, Okpebholo, you know, now went to start a flyover project. The first flyover in Edo State. He went to start the flyover. Where did he get the money? You see, politicians, just be very careful with them. Now,
The white man calls it theatrics. You know,
theatrics.
keep them busy.
Obaseki did the same thing to Oshomole. So now, Okpebholo tries to do the same thing. But let me tell you what will kill everything. After all, the national chairman of APC, Ganduje, has said he told Okpebholo, don't probe Obaseki. Very simple. Obaseki will simply return to APC and it will just be dead on arrival.
Because in an organic sense, okay, you know that this election is still highly contentious. And the way a government comes into power matters. Because if it didn't win an organic mandate, a point comes when that thing may begin to speak.
Oh, yeah.
So, for example, you have an election in which Okpebholo won only one senatorial. You know, people have been saying this is the first time they are seeing this happen. A candidate won only one senatorial district and became governor of Edo State. And frankly speaking, observers of the election have said that there was fraud.
The matter is before you
say that we are a country where some things just.
So, well, let's concentrate on this.
If you have from Mr. President,
because
if I may just land,
so just a minute, so I don't forget. Earlier on, I talked about knowledge and wisdom. Let's go a little back. Babangida lacked wisdom when he stopped the announcement of Abiola's victory. He had choices.
He had. But he chose the path he did. And today, it doesn't turn out to be wisdom. Okay. Now, in the case of Obaseki, I can tell you that to avoid any protest vote sometime in future, it will even pay the Tinubu presidency to have Godwin Obaseki come back to the APC for the sake of Edo South. Because Edo South has the largest voting bloc.
And they only fragmented, sorry, just to add to, they only fragmented because Obaseki fell out with the Oba Benin.
Oh yeah.
No,
that was it.
No, don't skip that.
No,
the Oba,
that's it.
Yeah.
Where I was going is that, as a matter of fact and principle, right? Even the Oba Benin and Obaseki falling out, okay? We cannot sit down and satisfactorily, empirically measure what the consequence of that could have been on any election. Because from the, talking about this last election in Edo State, from where votes were cast to where they were transmitted, they say the hand of a monkey mixed up with the hand of human being. So something went all right there. Okay, so let's not even remove that. But I'm just saying that it will pay the presidency, that or even the APC. It is the reason we began to just saying Okpebholo and co, leave this man. It is even better let him come back to the APC.
Let's woo him.
So that we know that if Oshomole gives us Edo North and Obaseki gives us Edo South, there will be no contention.
We are home and dry.
We are home and dry.
We will never even believe in PDP.
This is the calculation that they are I want to believe people who understand the Game of Thrones are looking at. They are not looking at somebody who stole my pot of soup and another person who bought my shirt in the market. It is inconsequential. They will do everything they can to satisfy you.
Yet
just let bygones be bygones.
Yet over and above all this we are talking about, it's the welfare of the people, the electors that matter in all of this.
It was the reason I said that this whole thing, this like the end is already known. There was no reason for setting up a committee to do what? To do what exactly?
No, to provide jobs for boys.
I agree with
who
you.
worked in the
they give people
election,
work. They give people work to keep them busy. There are better things to do. What is this whole charade of? In any case, like I said, so it doesn't look like I'm speaking from both sides of my mouth. The first thing I said was, if Obaseki is truly liable for anything, he shouldn't escape the hook. But we know we've seen these things happen over and over again. Nothing is going to come out of it, as the Jamaicans say. Nothing go and come out of it. So the earlier these people,
that is out of it.
Yes, out of it, out of it. So the earlier these people, the governor, you see the energy you will spend doing this. Gather your think tank.
Because you are spending funds.
You are spending. You are wasting funds.
You are wasting your own time. Because the time I started counting, before it's already, I mean, in a matter of time.
He is inaugurating officially tomorrow.
Now,
that is Tuesday.
Let me tell you this. You know, the oil windfall report that Dr. Pius Okpebholo was chairman of. Where's that report today? You know the last we heard of it.
Why didn't Obasanjo implement it?
No, the last Obasanjo said it was about. Then the report went missing. That it was that they couldn't tell where the report entered. That's point.
But somebody came out. I think somebody came out and said he had a copy.
They will not hear that one because I've been sure there was no. It's not as easy as you think. The second issue is I hope somebody isn't trying to stoke this fire under Obaseki to say, so that if and when he will cross over to the APC, he shouldn't come in as a kingmaker. He should come in symbolically.
No, you cannot. You cannot do that. You cannot do that now because don't forget. Okay, why has Wike not crossed over to the APC now?
Yeah, recall that Wike had to step in when Obaseki election was coming. Remember, and he looked at Obaseki'S number 2 then.
Yes.
The Aluta man. What was his name?
Philip Shaibu.
And ask him, who are you? Who is your father? And so on. So you expected APC's house to go up in flames. But today it is not.
But the same Shaibu has been on X praising Okpebholo. But the question I asked him last week on X, I said, oh boy, what are you doing now?
What has changed?
There's a future. Forget about whatever is happening. Don't jump into whatever happened between you and Obaseki. It was just a storm in the teacup. I said, Philip, you're a young man. The future is greater than what we know today.
Yeah. I can't
stop. You're already praising Okpebholo when the issue of your impeachment is still in court. Don't think tomorrow Okpebholo might just see you, might just discard you.
So or not.
Yes. Don't burn the bridge to Obaseki. You may need to go back to that bridge. You may need to cross that bridge again.
Otherwise, in taking this home, therefore, we are asking politicians from north to south, east to west in Nigeria to start to dismantle the walls they are erecting.
That is it.
Build bridges.
Obaseki. Obaseki didn't do anything, Abi. There are eternal roads in Edo State that Obaseki did. Obaseki was the first to pay 70,000 naira minimum wage. And he said it was from savings that the state made You know, even far ahead of Lagos, that people say is the leading state in Nigeria, blah, blah, blah. Obaseki has started paying minimum wage since April. Lagos will just start by November. Count the difference. You know, that such that people in villages, teachers in villages, were so happy when they saw their pay slip. They were so happy. Then Obaseki entered into MOUs with, with some companies on different projects, which I believe with time, will come into.
Emeka, I don't know how you weigh in on the issue of the 14 elected members of the House that were not inaugurated.
Yes, which is very sad.
It was sad.
And Okpebholo is now trying to toe that path where he will meet disaster. Because Obaseki, you see, there's separation of powers. Obaseki shouldn't have interfered in the issues of the House. There are enough people. He had his own men in the House who could have countered Oshomole's people who were trying to impeach him. He had enough people. And they could have sorted themselves out. Now, Okpebholo came in on the day of his inauguration. He said he would set up a panel to look into what happened. I was on the TV show that day and I said they should tell Okpebholo that the next paragraph after when he said that thing, he actually said that in recognition of the doctrine of separation of powers, I will adopt the recommendation of the judiciary for the promotion of 2 judges. In one paragraph, you said you will breach separation of powers. In the next paragraph, you say you will respect separation of powers. And then somebody should tell Okpebholo that the happiness, that the antelope does not start dancing before the festival begins. If not, when it's time to, when the real music starts, his legs will be.
Okay, Cyril, of course, you are familiar with the good old wisdom. It is said in politics, we have agreed no permanent friendship, no permanent enmity, but permanent interest. There is the local balance. Emeka is familiar with this. They say you don't employ the grass cutter in preparing bush meat.
Yes.
You can employ stockfish.
Yes.
Goat and
yes. Yes. So again, this is the reason, because when we look at, it speaks to the misplaced politics of Mr. Shaibu, for example, because if
in this mix,
if Obaseki comes back to the APC today in the pecking order, he will be higher by far than Shaibu. So what governor?
Even higher than the governor now.
Than the governor.
Because he will be an elder.
Yes. Now the challenge the governor is facing is, one would have thought that for someone who has come through the ranks in the political process, has been a senator, now is a governor, the level of quality, the level of thought we should see him exuding is not the level we're seeing him exuding. It looks like somebody went from being a councillor to acting council chairman, and from there just became governor. There is a certain level of sophistication and thought that should go into governance at that level. Just because the background is coming from. I want to particularly implore Mr. Governor to not take his foot off the pedal, but to make sure that his eyes are set.
And as they say, the idiom comes to mind: you hit the ground running.
But in this case, he's likely to hit the ground and break his legs. Because why do I say so? They are still talking of by-election to fill his seat in the Senate for Edo Central. His son is a deputy, Dennis Idausa. You remember, he was a member of the House of Representatives. There's going to be a by-election to fill. And let Okpebholo not think that Aso Ighodalo, of PDP, that he defeated Aso Ighodalo because APC was better accepted in Edo State, or because he was more popular. No. So even right now, APC is in a crisis over the choice of, who will carry the party's flag for Edo Central senatorial by-election and for Dennis Idausa's constituency, federal constituency. So those two things will also determine whether he's accepted or not. So he should be very careful, because Edo State, Edo State, I'm partly an Edo man. Edo State is one kind of state, quicksand state. It can change. The loyalty, the affection can change. So the thing is this: he should just concentrate on ensuring 2 things. It's good he has said he's going to fight cultism. in Edo State, which is good. You know, I wish him all the best, but you know,
and
successive governors have tried.
Yeah.
Have tried, and you know, they didn't really succeed. Not that they can't succeed, but well, I hope he can. But the other thing is this: he should take note of the fact that Edo is a unique place, and so he should know that the different ethnic groups in Edo State, you know, you have to find a way to balance things. Otherwise,
integrating all of them.
You know, and then your party chairman has said, don't probe this man. You're going to have to probe it in defense of your party chairman. When Wahala breaks, the man will leave you.
Emeka and Cyril, but you folks know that Second Republic politics told me, and you folks, I'm sure, going back, that the party chairman was the main man. Not anymore.
But even now,
not anymore.
In APC, Ganduje still with some, even though he's a prophet who is not recognized at home in Kano, he has been effectively, you know,
Emeka, all the parties, all the major parties have flies in the ointment.
Seriously.
You know, but let's end on this note. Good old Zebediah said, I have seen 99. Who are 100? We have seen...
No, but there's still the distance between 99 and 100, which can tell don't want to 99. In Nigerian politics, so that is it. Like Cyril will say in a manner of speaking. In Nigerian politics, between 99 and 100, and you have enough that we that can torpedo 1 to 99.
Yes.
So
99 to 1, and make 1 bigger than 99.
I remember that 100 begins with 1.
Yeah.
So
I remember a politician who said 2 plus 2 is 22, not 4. And they asked him to explain. He said, remove the plus. Push
So join them.
Gentlemen, we're still talking Nigerian politics, but let me thank you, Cyril Abaku, for coming.
My pleasure.
And Emeka Madonagu.
Thank you very much.
We can't tire discussing these things. That's the essence of Homo Politicus. Mold opinion, give context to issues. Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah. All right, so the debate continues. Would you say Governor Okpebholo of Edo State is hitting the ground screeching or running? Is there still room for wisdom to take heed, become big here for everybody? I'm out of here until the next time. Until then, I am Citizen Jones Hussein on behalf of the Backroom Boys saying thank you. Bye-bye now.